Homepages or dashboards give us a way of displaying important information gathered on one page. Homepages are assigned to roles so that when someone in a role logs into QuickBase, they see the reports and information meant for them. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe the three types of pages available, identify when to use a homepage, rich text page, or code page, create and customize homepages, use the report, text, button bar, link bar, search, and web page widgets, and assign home pages to roles. Let's get started. We're on a home page, some people call a dashboard of a project management application, looking at the various reports that are displayed here. And as we go down through them, you'll notice that you can modify these reports by clicking and dragging them. You can also export them to spreadsheets. For instance, notice on the right-hand side, we have one report here called the Task Summary Report. I'm going to pop it right out of the home page into its separate page and then pop it back into the home page here. Notice that you can save these as spreadsheets, so you can export the data that's presented inside here. You can collapse the sections of these reports. But how did we get these reports here in the first place? How did we get these charts and graphs here? Well, scroll way up to the top, and on the right-hand side, there's something called Customize this page. And if I click on it, I can see how the existing page was created and how these sections can be clicked and dragged around, how you can move them, and how you can click new sections and put them anywhere you'd like to. I'm going to cancel out of here without saving, and I'm going to show you how you can create one of these from scratch. From the home page right here, under settings right here, I'm going to go in here and look for the link for pages. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see there are some pages already created, and we have customers that have over 1,000 of these, and you can see the default one has a checkbox next to it as my default home page. I'm going to go up to this green button in the upper right hand side and click it, and here I can create three different types of reports. Initially, we're going to be talking about the home page one, and this is pre-formatted, so anyone can do this without any technical skill. We can come up to the top of this and pull down a section or an object and be able to select from any of these different reports that exist here. So I'm going to pretend this is for a customer. I'm going to say list all the tasks is what I want the customer to be able to see. And notice that I can select the number of rows, whether this can be collapsed, and whether the title has to be shown. And you can see this title over here on the side, so you can suppress that if you wish to. So I'm going to say that's okay. Let's pull something else down. Click and drag. And here I'm going to look for a report under List All Projects this time. So I've got a project one on the top, and I have tasks at the bottom. Notice they're called List All. If I clicked into these, I could say List All Projects. And down below, I could do the same kind of thing, List All Tasks, for instance. So there is a degree of customization that's there. You can also click into the settings and decide to collapse and allow these to be shown. So I'm going to say we've got two reports here. Let's also grab a button and pull this down right on top here, and we'll select from the new record any one of these tables. I can add a record to it just by saying I want to add a project record, for instance. And where do I want it to go after it's been filled out? Well, I want it to return back to this page, but you do have some other options available to you. So let's see, we have a new project button. Let's add another button. This time it's going to be add a message, for instance, and I'll say collapse. Now, both of these are green. I'm going to move over here to settings, and you can see that you can put them horizontally or you can make them vertically. You can left justify, you can center them, right justify them. I'm going to left justify these, and I'm going to make them horizontal, and I'm going to select a different color. So I'm going to take this bar and move this up here like that. And what have we got? We've got blue buttons right now. And do we want to keep this button bar widget? Now I can change the name of that, or I can just come back over here to these and say, don't show the title. And let's X out of this. Now I want to also put a search bar in here. So I'm going to click that and drag that down, and it showed on the left-hand side. And I'm going to be searching company information, or let's say task information. And notice it says search all the searchable fields. Now I could choose to nail it right down into, let's say, the company name if we wanted to. Click and put that in there, and that's the only field it'll look into. I could look for the contact. I can look for the project name. I can make it vertically displayed. Now what does that mean? Let's save this for a second. You'll see what I mean. I have a separate search box for each one of these things. Let's go back in here. Let's see, search all the fields. I'm just going to use one in this scenario here. And so now what we have is buttons. We have search. Let's put a text section on the top. This one will be a welcome screen. Welcome, Acme, Staple Company. And I'm going to highlight this, make this big, and I'll come down to like 28 size. And then I'm going to just hover over Acme Staple and actually make this orange here. Now I don't need something telling me welcome screen up here. Notice it says rich text widget. So I can click on the settings and say don't show the title. I can collapse this if I wanted to make this section disappear. But notice how broad the reporting is so far here. As I scroll down, many times you want that much real estate left to right. But some of the time you may want to click and notice the green line way far on the left side. It now has moved those over here, and I can do the same thing with this here. I'm going to just put it right underneath. Let's say that this is the home page that we want Acme to have. And of course you can do links, and you can also do web pages. I neglected here. Let's drag web pages down here. We'll put it right between projects and tasks, and we'll call this quickbase.intuit.com/webinars. There. And this can be collapsed and show the title. Sure, I'll show the title. What does the title say? It says web page widget, which I'll edit and call webinars. And use that little checkbox here. Now I've got a section that holds those as well as the reports right there. So I'm going to save this. Up in the right hand side, I say save. And notice it says new homepage. I neglected to name it. This is the homepage I get served up as a project manager. And you can see the roles of the people that get their respective pages. You can have as many of these pages as you want. I'm going to go back into this and call this the Acme homepage, or the Acme dashboard. There we go. Click Save. Let's talk about some of the other kinds of pages that we can create. I'm going to click a new page up here, and this time I'm going to use a rich text page and say create. Now this is just like a word processor that's going to pop up here, and I'm going to say it's a welcome screen. Welcome HTML. Now I could say welcome troops. Thank you for your contribution. I'm going to hover over this. I'm going to make this big, and I'm going to bold and italicize that. And how about if I make that a level 3? I'm going to hover over both of these and center them. And troops, and we can select that color, for instance. Welcome troops, thanks for your contribution. Now what we've really been doing is making HTML. And if I click on that, you can see this code that's created here. If you know this code, you can put this in all by yourself. In fact, if I copied this, let's save this, and welcome.html. There's another page type that you can create, which is a code page. Now this one doesn't have the HTML editor into it. So I'm going to call this welcome2.html, and I'm just going to paste this information in here and say save. So now we've got two. This one was created with the text editor. This one was text. Let's preview this one. Let's see about previewing this one. So if you know code, you can put this in here, and a lot of people use this for JavaScript and special style and representing reports in many different ways using XSL style sheets. Now, how do you serve up a particular page to a particular person? You can create roles and permissions, and I'm going to click on Exit Settings in the upper left-hand side. Notice we're still on the home page, and I'm going to click on Settings right here. And I'm going to go down into roles, and this defines what people can see and do in QuickBase. Notice Project Manager here is using the Project Manager homepage as a displayed page. And if you were a team member, you would be served up this page. And if we created a new role, and it was an Acme role, for instance, we're going to go over to the user interface, which is where you can actually select in a role a different dashboard. And here's the Acme dashboard. We've now updated this particular role, and let's go up to the main home page. Remember, this is served up to us by roles, so this is our project manager role. Imagine if we were an administrator here, we could test this as if we were in a different role, like the Acme role. And this is how home pages get served up, and you can use this as a tool to figure out what your home pages look like for other people that are coming in and consuming your QuickBase applications. So in this lesson, we learned how to describe the 3 types of pages available, identified when to use the home page, rich text page, or code page. We created and customized home pages. We used the report, text, button bar, link bar, search, and web page widgets, and assigned home pages to roles. This concludes this lesson.